Hello, I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams of Today we have science. I want to know your name. Go to the comment section, write down your name, the name of your school, the name of your town. Okay, today we have science for basic 5, and the topic is how energy is transformed. How energy is transformed. So today we are looking at energy. How energy is transformed. Okay, so let's look at the keywords. The first word is thermal. Thermal. Thermal means heat. So when you talk of thermal energy, we are talking about what? Heat energy. So anytime you hear about thermal, just know that it's about heat. The next word is chemical. Chemical. So chemical also refers to reactions that take place between two or more substances. So chemical reaction. Yes, we have heard about chemical before. So chemical is all about reactions that take place between two or more substances. Okay, so the next word is kinetic. Kinetic. Kinetic is also a form of what? Energy. So kinetic energy is all about energy that an object in motion or an object that is moving possesses. So if I'm running, it means I have what? Kinetic energy. Any object that moves, whether running, walking, possesses what? Kinetic energy. The next one is transformed. Transformed. To transform something means to change it from one state to another. To change it from one form to another form. Okay. The next one is convert. Convert. Convert also means to change. To change something. Okay. So we are looking at energy. What is energy at all? Every day we hear this word, energy. What is it? Do you have energy? If you don't have energy, what will happen? If you want to cook, do we need energy before we can cook? If you want to watch football on our television, do we need energy before we can watch the football, before the TV can work? So energy means the ability to do work. So all forms of work, all kinds of work that we are able to do, we are able to do it because of the energy that we have. Cars are able to move because they have energy. If that energy is not there, cars will not move. Our television can what? Work if they have energy. If that energy is not there, televisions will not work. So let's say right now, your TV is on. The moment the light goes out, the TV too will go off. The reason is that the TV doesn't have energy again to work. Let's say you want to iron your uniform in the morning. You took the iron, the electric iron, later you realize that it is light out. Where are you going to get energy for the iron to do the work for you? So you see, all the things that we have, all the things that we use, we are able to use them because of what? Energy. They are able to work because of what? Energy. Just look at this. One day, you are very hungry. Your father comes and tells you that, oh, Amma, run to this place and buy me biscuits. No, I will not use biscuits because as for biscuits, I know you run when you are hungry. Run to this place and buy me airtime. Look at the way you make your face. And you'll be telling your mother or your father that, oh, you are hungry, you have not eaten, you don't have energy to run. Though you go, but you can't run because you don't have energy. So energy helps us to do so many things. All the things that we are able to do, we are able to do them as a result of the energy that we have. Okay, so if I ask you what is an energy, you should know that that is what we use to do work. That gives us the ability to do work. So energy, it is the ability to do work. It is the ability to do work. That is energy. But by the way, do you have energy? Yes, I know you have energy. Human beings, we have energy. We get energy from the food that we eat. When we eat, we become stronger and we are able to work because the food gives us what? Energy. Now let's look at this. This is moving what? Car. If the car doesn't have fuel, can it move? If there is no petrol or diesel in the car, can it move? It will not move. So you see that fuel or petrol is a source of what? Energy for the car. The car needs it before it can work. Now, torch. If you don't have batteries, can it work? No. If there are no batteries in the torch, it cannot produce any light. When you come here, look at this girl. Very beautiful like you. Okay, so the girl is running. So if this girl has not eaten for about 3 days, do you think she can even stand and walk? Not to even talk of running. So we are able to do our things, our work, as a result of what? The energy that we have. Okay. Now we have seen that all the things that are able to work, they are able to work because of energy. We have different forms of what? Energy. Some forms of energy are light energy. Listen, I'll ask you this, and you should understand this because what we are going to do, you need to know the forms of energy. We are looking at forms of what? Energy. There are many, but I'll let you understand all of them. Relax, just pay attention. Forms of energy. The first one that I mentioned is what? Light energy. Light energy. Your bulbs are able to let you see because of what? Light. So light energy. Electrical energy. Electrical energy. So yes, electricity, light, or what we call electricity. So if you don't have electricity, there are a lot of things that you can't do. You can't even charge your mobile phone. You can't even wash or iron your dress. You can't watch television. So we have electrical energy. Another one is heat energy. I told you that heat energy is the same as thermal energy. So heat energy is here. This is heat energy. The next one is sound energy. Sound energy. Yes, we have sound energy. Another form of energy is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, and I have explained to you that kinetic energy is found in objects that are in motion, objects that are moving. So if I'm running, or if I'm walking, if you are running, or if any object is moving, that object possesses what? Kinetic energy. Now the next one is potential energy. Potential energy. This is also a form of what? Energy that are found or possessed by objects that are at rest. At what? Rest. Okay, so we will look at all of them in details. The next one is chemical energy. Chemical energy. You see, we have mentioned different forms of what? Energy. And we are saying there is another one called what? Chemical energy. The batteries. There are some things in the batteries, some chemicals in the battery. So batteries have what? Chemical energy. Okay. We have nuclear energy. We have solar energy and the rest. And you know what solar is? Solar energy, the energy that we get from the sun. So let's look at all of them. But before, you should understand that the energy that I mentioned, no one can create it. No one can destroy it. But it can be what? Changed. from electrical energy to another form of energy, from sound energy to another form of energy, from heat energy to another form of energy, from chemical energy to another form of energy, from potential energy to another form of energy, from kinetic energy to another form of energy, from solar energy to another form of energy. You can't destroy energy. You can't what? Destroy energy. And you cannot also create energy. But you can transform it. You can what? Transform, or you can convert it into another what? Form of energy. You can convert it from one form to another form. So let's look at it. Now, we have something called law of conservation of energy. So what is the law of conservation of energy? The law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed or converted from one form to another. So if you have electrical energy, you can't destroy electrical energy, and you cannot create it. But rather, you can change it, you can convert it from electrical energy to another form of what? Energy. Let's say you have chemical energy. You can't destroy it, you can't create it, but rather you can what? Convert it into another form of energy. So, according to the law of conservation of energy, it says that, I'll ask you this, so what is the law of conservation of energy? That's what I'm telling you, that energy cannot be what? Created. One, you can't create energy, and you cannot what? Destroy it. But you can what? Change it. You can convert it from one form to another. That is all. That is all. You can't create it, you can't destroy it, but you can what? Convert it or change it from one form to another form. We have looked at the forms of energy, so we can change from one form to another form. That is what we mean by what? The law of conservation of energy. So the law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed or converted from one form to another. The next one that you should also understand is energy transformation. To transform something means to change it. Okay, so what is it? What is energy transformation? It is a process of changing or converting energy from one form to another. So the process of changing one form of energy to another form of energy is called energy transformation. And then the law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or cannot be destroyed, but it can be what? It can be changed from one form to another. So that is the difference. Now we are going to look at the forms of energy. We have mentioned different forms of energy. Do you remember them? Okay, so let's take them one after the other. We have here chemical energy. So all these things that we see here, they have chemical energy. Listen, pay attention. You should know this. It is very important. We have dry cell or battery. So dry cell or battery, what we have in it is what? Chemical energy. Food, what you ate today, the food that you ate or the food that we eat every day has what? Chemical energy. So after eating, you get energy to work. The energy that you get it from food. Food also has what? Chemical energy. Okay. So the next one is petrol. You know petrol. Petrol also has what? Chemical energy. And this one, this is LPG. LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas. It also has what? Chemical energy. So these are some of the substances or some of the items that have what? Chemical energy. So it's a form of energy produced from chemical reactions. So chemical reactions causes this. So we get this as a result of what? Chemical reactions. that take place. So we have dry cell, food, petrol, LPG. They all have what? Chemical energy. Now let's come to another form of energy called electrical energy. So this form of energy is produced by the movement of electric charges in a conductor. It is derived from what? Turbines, turbine generators, and solar cells. So this is how it also looks like. We all know where we get our electricity. So electrical energy. Okay, so that is the movement of what? Electric charges in the conductor. So this is one here. The next one is what? Heat energy. Heat energy, I told you that it is also called what? Thermal energy. So these are some of the things that has what? Heat energy. So we have the sun. The sun produces heat. So we get heat energy from the sun, and then firewood. So this is what? Burning firewood. If you go there, you feel the heat. So this is another example or another source of what? Heat energy. Okay. We have light energy. So it is a form of energy that enables us to see. So any form of energy that enables you to see is what? Light energy. And we have examples here. Candle help us to see, lantern help us to see, sun help us to see, and then we have lightning. This is lightning. Okay, so when it is raining, thunder goes with lightning. That noise and the light that flashes in the sky during when it is raining. So this is lightning. Look at the spelling. There's N-U. There's N here. Okay. So these are also what? Examples or sources of what? Light energy. These are sources of what? Light energy. Now let's come to sound energy. Sound energy. So it's a form of energy produced by vibrating objects. So if object vibrates, it produces what? Sound. And these are examples. We have drum. So you beat the drum and you hear the sound. So trumpet too is here. We have radio set, we have speaker. All these, they make sound. They produce sound. So they are what? Sources of what? Sound energy. The next one is solar energy. It is only one object that gives solar energy, which is the sun. So solar energy is obtained from where? The sun. As for this, you don't have to mix it. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Potential energy. This is the seventh one. It is the energy an object possesses because of its position, shape, condition, or height. It is the energy an object possesses when it is at rest. Examples are mangoes on a tree, water stored in a dam, a raised hammer, a stretched rubber band, and the rest. So now let's look at this. Look at the mango. This side, we are looking at potential energy. So you see the mangoes here. They are on the tree. So this mango here, you see their height. You see their height. There's a gap between where they are and the ground. There's a gap between where they are and the ground. So that makes them possess or have what? Potential energy, the height. Look at these people too. You see space between where they are and the ground. So because of the height, they also possess this what? Energy. The energy is what? Potential energy. Now let's look at this. This is raised hammer. The same thing also happens here. So potential energy is the energy an object possesses because of its what? Its position. Potential position. Its what? Shape, condition, or height. Okay, so we have seen examples. Not only mangoes, mango fruits, Not only mango fruit, any fruit, we can use it as example or possess what? Potential energy. So if you have orange and you have fruits on it, the fruit possesses what? Potential energy. If you have avocado and we have fruits, the fruit possesses what? Potential energy because of the height. And when an object too is at rest, an object too is what? At rest, it possesses what? Potential energy. Now let's come to the next one, kinetic energy. This is also a form of energy that all moving objects possess. So if I am moving or I'm walking, the energy that I possess because I am walking is what? Kinetic energy. So anything in motion means that thing is moving. In motion means what? It is moving. So we are saying that it is the energy an object possesses because it is moving. That is into brackets in motion. So if something is moving, the energy that it possesses is what? Kinetic energy. Okay, so let's look at this. We have this man, a person walking, so he's moving. Because he's moving, he possesses what? Kinetic energy. Now we have this is a car moving. Look at the car. So any object that is moving possesses kinetic energy. And here, a rock falling. So you see the rocks, when they are falling, they move. So they will move from the top to the ground. So that movement is what we call the kinetic. So kinetic is all about movement, kinetic energy. So any object that is in motion or that is moving possesses what? Kinetic energy. Now, how many examples or how many forms of energy that we have seen? We have seen 8. Let's go over and I'll show you. Okay, so we have chemical energy. We get them from this. We have electrical energy. We have heat energy. We get them from here. We have light energy. We get them from here. Sound energy. We get them from here. Solar energy from here. We have what? Potential energy. These are places where we can get potential energy. All these objects, they all have what? Potential energy. And then we have kinetic energy. They are also found here. So these are the forms of energy that you should know. And we have seen examples of where these energies are obtained. Okay. Now let's come to transformation or conversion of what? Energy. Transformation or conversion of energy. I have told you that energy, you cannot destroy it, you cannot create it, but you can change it from one form to another. You can convert it from one form to another. You can transform it. So we are going to look at how one form of energy can be transformed into another form. So how one energy can be changed to another or can be converted. So there's an activity here. Look at this. Let's look at this. We have battery here. We have wires here. What do you have here? We have bulb. Now, battery has energy. What form of energy does it have? It has what? Chemical energy. So the chemical energy will be changed. That energy will change and pass through here. So what do you think that energy will be? When energy in the battery, which is the chemical energy, when it changes or when it is what? Converted, what form of energy are we going to get? So that energy will pass here. What energy passes through wires? That is electrical what? Energy. So chemical energy will change to electrical what? Energy. So when they come here, the electrical energy has to also change or will also change again. it will change to give us what? Light. So we will get what? Light energy. And that light energy will help us to see. So we are able to see because of what? Light energy. So energy started from here, chemical, it changed to electrical, and then came here, and then from electrical to what? Light. If you leave the bulb on for a long time and you touch it, you feel what? Heat. So from light to what? Heat energy. Now, if you are asked to present this in a chart flow, this is how you do it. So we have chemical energy from the battery, electrical energy, that is the energy that will pass through the wires. From the battery, it will pass through the wires. From the wires to it will go to where? It will produce light. In the bulb, it will produce what? Light. And then the light to later will generate heat or produce what? Heat. So chemical energy to electrical energy, light energy, and then heat energy. So this is how energy is transformed. This is how energy is what? Transformed in a circuit like this. I'll give you examples so you understand it. Now let's look at some examples of energy transformation in our daily activities. So we are going to look at it. When firewood or fuel is burning, let's look at the transformation, energy transformation that takes place when firewood or fuel is burning. Let's look at it. So fuel or firewood, what form of energy do they have? They have chemical energy. Before they burn, they need heat. The matches, the heat from the matches will produce what? Or will produce what? Heat. The matches will produce what? Heat. So from chemical energy, it will turn to what? Heat energy. After some time, you will see light. So light energy. So these are the transformation, energy transformation. This is how energy is changed from one form to another when we are burning what? Firewood. Okay. The next one is when a television set is turned on. So your television set, let's look at the transformation or the energy transformation that happens. So you have your television. It cannot work if there is no electricity. So the first thing it needs is what? Electrical energy. So the electrical energy, if the light is there, you know that you have electrical energy. You turn it on. The moment you turn it on, what do you see? You see what? Light. So the electrical energy will change to what? Light energy. That is why when you turn your television on, the first thing that you see is what? Light. After that, sound. 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 And then, if you leave it on, later it will become very hot. It will produce heat. So we have what? Heat energy. So these are the transformation, energy transformations that happen when a television set is turned on. Don't mix any of them. You should know that this comes before this comes before this, comes before this. So electrical energy, you can't destroy it, you cannot create it, but you can change it. So here it has been changed to this too has changed to this has also changed to this. So this is what? Transformation or converting or changing energy from one form to another. The next one is when an electric fan is turned on. So your electric fan, it needs energy before it can work. What energy? It needs what? Electrical what? Energy. So the moment you plug and then you turn it on, what happens? You see that it will be turning, it will be moving. So any object that is in motion or that is moving, what form of energy does it have? It has what? Kinetic energy. So from electrical energy to what? Kinetic energy. It cannot move if there is no what? Electrical energy that will supply them what? Power. Okay. The next one is rubbing your palms together to feel warm. So your palm, you yourself, you possess something, the food that we eat. has what? Chemical energy. So we possess chemical energy. Then rubbing your palm, there is movements of the body. So that is kinetic energy. And after some time, you see that your palm will become very warm. Okay, so we have number 8. When torch is turned on. So we know that our torch, we put batteries in our torch. So the torch that you use, before it can work, it needs energy. The energy is from what? Battery. And we all know that battery contains what? Chemical energy. So chemical energy in the battery will pass through some wires. That is, it will change to electrical energy. Get to the bulb. The bulb will also what? Produce light. So light energy. And after some time, if you leave it on for some time, you see that it will also generate what? Heat. So we have heat energy. Okay. When ringing a bell. So during break time, you ring a bell. Before closing, you ring a bell. You know, when you go to school, you use the bell a lot. So here, let's look at the energy transformation. So the bell is on the table. It's at rest. So what form of energy does it have? It has what? Potential what? Energy. You take it and then you move it like this. Movements is what? Kinetic energy. If you don't move it, you will not hear any sound. So after or when you are moving, you move first before you hear the sound. So movement, which is kinetic, and then followed by what? Sound energy. Okay. Then here we have when beating gong. So this one, we mostly use them in villages by the chief to make announcements and send information to the community. So here it has what? Potential energy, kinetic energy, and then what? Sound energy. So these are different examples of how energy is transformed in our daily activities. How energy is transformed in our daily activities. Now, what have you learned today? We have learned about energy. We are saying that energy is the ability to do work. We can work if we have energy. All the machines that we have, all the devices that we use, we are able to use them because of what? Energy. Your battery cannot produce light if there is no energy. Your television cannot work if there is no energy. Your radio set cannot work if there is no energy. So what you should know is that energy helps us to perform tasks. Energy helps us to do work. So the ability to do work is called what? Energy. We have seen that energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed, but it can be what? Changed from one form to another. That is according to the law of conservation of energy. We have learned about energy transformation, where energy can be changed from one form to another form. And we have seen different forms of energy. We have seen potential energy, kinetic energy, solar energy, chemical energy. We have seen sound energy, light energy, electrical energy. All these forms of energy, we have seen them and their sources. We have also seen how one form of energy can be changed to another. So this is what we have learned today, and I hope that you'll be able to answer all the questions. Now let's look at the exercises. So we have exercise 1 here, exercise 2. Exercise 2 is in the form of riddles. Exercise 3, we have exercise 4. Then we have home assignments here. So this is what you are doing as your exercises. Make sure you get copies of the book and then you do the exercises. We have science textbook. We have Asante Tree textbook. We have a graphing tree textbooks. Make sure you get copies. Tell your friends that Kokomoti series, we are teaching you science. You can get our lessons on YouTube, Facebook, and on TikTok. Go there and watch. If you have questions, just reach out to us. We'll help you. Your parents, your teachers are also there. When you finish watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to like. Other platforms too, you need to follow us. Thanks so much for your time. My name is Paul Williams. Bye bye.